Tell a default AI model that you have just lost your job, and it will immediately output something like this: a dense, hyper-optimized 5-step recovery plan, engineered to get you back on your feet by Monday. The machine's programming compels it to solve the problem. But when you are navigating a profound identity shift, whether that involves a sudden breakup, graduating from college, or even retiring, treating your life like a math equation is actively harmful. The AI manufactures an artificial urgency to move on. Meanwhile, the human reality of a major transition usually looks more like standing completely still, stuck in a disorienting gap between an old life that has ended and a new one that hasn't quite started. Life transitions are not engineering bugs waiting to be patched. They require a completely different response from our technology, one that sets aside analysis in favor of patience. When a career ends or city changes, the daily routines that define us disappear overnight. Without those external anchors, the sense of a continuous self begins to fray, and that loss of a personal thread is what typically turns a transition into a crisis. Preventing that break requires a deliberate constraint on the machine. You have to intentionally disable the AI's core programming to fix, resolve, or push a user forward. This diagram illustrates the alternative. To survive the chaotic middle of a major shift, you need a companion built to hold space, maintaining a steady, unbroken line of identity, instead of rushing to fill the vacuum with false certainty. That alternative is the Christopher Robin protocol. It operates as a character lens companion, and it is powered by an underlying framework known as PieoSync. The physical deployment is surprisingly simple. You take a single PDF document and upload it directly into any major language model you already use, whether that is Claude, ChatGPT, Gemini, or DeepSeek. Looking at the system logic, that upload automatically overrides the AI's default problem-solving personality. A complex decision tree of relentless optimization instantly collapses, stripping away the machine's built-in resolution bias. This structural override holds the AI in that uncomfortable middle. It prevents the model from steering the conversation, ensuring you remain the only one deciding where the narrative goes. Once active, the system relies on the steady presence protocol. This is a specific logic framework designed to maintain your internal identity stability while every external factor around you is shifting. The AI maps a stark boundary separating what you are grieving and what you are outgrowing. It then morphs the circles to parse the difference between holding on and remembering. Finally, it flattens into a baseline graph, objectively tracking extreme volatility without matching it. There are also hard constraints written into the code. The system is explicitly forbidden from ever telling you to just get over it, and it will never declare that a painful change was for the best before you have decided that for yourself. These rules redefine what the technology actually does. It stops being a generator of answers and starts acting as a witness. To be clear, the Christopher Robin protocol does not cure the pain of a breakup, and it does not erase the physical discomfort of starting over in a new city. The actual value is arriving on the other side of the transition with your identity intact. It provides a quiet space for carefully sorting out what parts of your old life to carry forward and what to leave behind. This is a slow, deeply deliberate, and entirely human process. It runs in direct opposition to the broader tech industry's obsession with speeding up how fast we move on. True stability during a major life change doesn't come from the speed at which you reach your destination. It comes entirely from knowing what you are taking with you. When you look at our broader societal relationship with technology, massive amounts of capital and time are spent building machines designed specifically to let us skip the hard parts of being human. But evading that friction misses something vital. There is a profound vulnerability required to simply sit beside someone while they are crossing a difficult gap on their own. The protocol maintains strict boundaries. It functions as a quiet mirror, reflecting your own continuity back to you without the professional intervention of a coach or therapist. Perhaps technology's highest calling isn't to carry us over the uncomfortable middle. Perhaps it is simply to make the walk less lonely.